So on my last vid, I got a comment telling me to check out a popular Steam game called Pizza Tower. I've heard about it before, but I never really bothered to see what it was about. So I got it on Steam, and it was a really fun experience. Sorry. So I got it on Steam, and it was a really fun experience. Now, if you've ever heard of Wario Land, it's basically an exploration game, kind of like Metroid, where you have to go around the map looking for power-ups and such. Now, with Pizza Tower, imagine Wario Land, but with a little sprinkle of Chef Boyardee sprinkling on top. Man, I love myself some Chef Boyardee. But yeah. It's Wario, but pizza. Yeah. Anyways, putting up the game, we get this pretty cool introduction cutscene. We overlook the main character Peppino Spaghetti's pizza establishment. Now, unlike Wario, Peppino is dirt poor and barely has any coins. But just when it can't get any worse, pizza guy, Thingamabob, I don't know, pops up and threatens to disrupt Peppino's beloved restaurant if he doesn't go to his tower. One other thing I didn't mention is that Peppino is related to Courage the Cowardly Dog, apparently. Well, we get off a butt and get going. Oh, also we meet I think the Pizza Tower versions of Mario and Waluigi. They also join us on this quest. Once we rush into the tower, we get thrown into the tutorial level. Hello. So yeah, if you haven't noticed earlier, Mr. Paparazzi is a nervous train wreck and he uses the power of anxiety attacks to fuel his abilities. Now, Peppino can do some pretty crazy stuff. He can become Sonic the Hedgehog. He can flop on the ground, break stuff, and do spark jumps and a lot more other stuff as well. One thing I noticed about this game is the way the controls feel. Peppino feels super fluid compared to chunky stuff of Wario, and the gameplay is fast paced and always has you doing something. Now, like I mentioned earlier, Pizza Tower takes a few pages out of Wario Land's book. Peppino has status effects that allow him to access certain places, and the level layouts look similar to something you'd see in Wario Land. You also have to collect stuff, duh. But this includes pizza toppings, pizza coins, and non-living pizza toppings. One thing that you can do is find these little special levels, so that's pretty refreshing. Also, just like in Wario Land, you gotta haul it back to the beginning of the level and escape. So yeah, that's the rundown of the levels, and what else does this game have? Like most games, you have achievements which are expected, and you can even change Peppino's outfit. You can also find little secret rooms which are cool, so yeah. Oh shoot, I forgot about the bosses. Yeah, you can't have a game without bosses. That's to be expected, but with the first boss, you fight this tomato guy, and he kind of looks like a scrap Cuphead boss. But if you don't know what you're doing, this guy is hard. The first time I fought him, I got absolutely bodied instantly. But once I went in again and knew his attacks, it was pretty fun, and I beat him as well. So yeah, and once we beat a boss, we can access the next floor. But that's basically a sumdown of the game, but what are my thoughts? Well, first of all, this game is pretty dang fun. Like I said earlier, Peppino's movement is really fluid, and I think he's the best animated video game character I've ever seen. And the way he frantically flops and flies around is pretty funny as well. The enemies are also pretty cool looking and are food based. I also love character customization in games, and being able to give Peppino a different look, it was also pretty cool. The music is also a banger, which adds to the game in my opinion. Now, the game does ramp up in difficulty. Sometimes you just need to chill out because of how fast Peppino moves. Trying to frantically grab all the stuff and get out of the level during the escape sections is pretty nerve-wracking as well, and you can't afford to mess up a lot or else. Yeah, that happens. I also love the art style in this game. When you see a game with different art styles, you can already tell some heart was put into the game. That's also one of the reasons why I like Cuphead so much, because of the 1930s throwback art style. I feel like I'm playing a show off of Cartoon Network or something like that. And later you can also play as different characters. Oh my god! Later you can also play as different characters like that Mario guy I mentioned earlier. Now, while the game isn't perfect and has flaws, you'll still have a good time with it. And yeah, it's just a really cool game. I'm gonna put this game here on the Wack and Wonderful scale. Anyways, we're not going to see... Wait, what? I wrote that wrong. Anyways, we're gonna see what other people think. Welcome back to Eating with AntFlam, with our first review from Ricardo L. This game is more Italian than Mario and faster than Sonic, best $20 of my life. So yeah, first review, off to a pretty good start. With the next one from Zion Tree, flying pizza face bullies Italian man for no reason in the game. But on all seriousness, this game is awesome. It can be obvious that it takes inspiration from Wario Land 4 with the time to escape in each level, the abilities your characters has, etc. But I think it also builds off that game into something even better by taking certain aspects and taking them to the next level. And the soundtrack is amazing. The controls and mechanics take some getting used to, but once you get better, it can be fun and satisfying to speed through the levels. Yeah, pretty good, not bad. And with the last one from Kabold Wife Gaming, it just says pizza. I mean, there's pizza, but those reviews weren't that bad, and you know, a lot of people like the game. I mean, you know, game's not bad. But anyways, it's time to move on to the outro of the video. Well, that was Pizza Tower. I thought it was a pretty fun game, and I definitely recommend it. It's worth the $20. But yeah, if you like my little Wack and Wonderful videos, then I recommend you like, sub, and hit the notification bell and all that jazz. But anyways, thanks for hanging out and have a good day / night.